This class is our yoga and mindfulness class, and today we're going to just be working with our body, being mindful of the movements and mindful of our breath. So the real basis of mindfulness is just bringing the awareness back into your body, bringing the awareness back to our breath. Our breath is our constant, and it's always there from our very first breath to our very last breath. Our breath is always flowing. So this morning I want us to really kind of like come into your body, come into your breath, and just focus in the here, in the now. So lying down in Shavasana, palms facing up, shoulders relaxing down into the earth. I always think the best way to connect to our breath is just by letting the hands come onto the belly. And just feel the belly rise and fall here. As we breathe with the hands on the belly, I just want you to be aware of the warmth of your hands over your navel. Or maybe thumbs in navel, hands on the lower belly. And as you breathe in, just notice maybe your fingers just very gently part, and then exhale, coming back towards each other. So again, just very gently, just parting. And exhale. And coming back, fingers joining towards each other. So we've got our hands kind of like over our solar plexus and our sacral chakra. So Svatisthana chakra, your sacral chakra, and Manipura chakra, your solar plexus. As we breathe, we can just feel the belly rise and fall. I just want you to focus on your breath for a moment here, and you can feel your breath. So it's quite nice to kind of like feel it. It's quite tangible when we have our hands on our belly, to feel that movement in your body. And our minds will often wander away when we've got something just so simple to do as to focus on our breath. Our minds always wander off. So just allowing the body to return back to this breath. And if your mind wanders, that's fine. Just drawing it back into the here, into the now. I've got a poem that I'm going to read this morning, and it's called Close the Gap. And it's by Sack Beach. And it's just, I read it yesterday, and I just thought that'd be quite nice for the class this morning. So it's about really being mindful of where you are. So it's called Close the Gap. Close the gap between yourself and your body, your path and your purpose, your heart and forgiveness, your worries and the wrinkles that follow them, and to focus on what really matters. Pay attention when you're perennially tipping forward from one moment to the next, losing yourself in the process, or running from one state of dissatisfaction to another. Pay attention so you can slow down when you need to. Listen to your body's whispers for more nourishing food, time outdoors, sleep, and close the gap. between what you do, well, what you feel you need to do, and what you end up doing. And instead of sitting tired and exhausted, a dull flickering screen illuminating that last bite of ice cream, and that one, and the next one. Rock yourself to sleep with a lullaby. I am coming home to myself, closing the gap between my life and my dreams. I am coming home to myself, finally listening to the heart tugging at my sleeve. And with your hands on your heart, close the gap between yourself and your love. I just thought that called to me yesterday because I was trying to do lots and lots of different things. And in the end, as I said earlier on, I actually managed to go out. The only time I managed to get out was in the pouring rain. Whereas if I'd actually been very mindful about myself, I would have got out earlier in the sunshine. So, especially this time of the year, we always feel that we have so many things to do. And even in this time of uncertainty, we still feel that we're kind of like rushing around trying to fit everything in. But just really, I want us to really be aware of what matters to us. And just being here just shows that we're kind of being mindful and we're like looking after our body to come into the class and do our practice today. So for the class today, I want you to think about just setting an intention for the class. Just in setting an intention just to be here in the moment. Just set an intention to come home to yourself, come back to yourself. Now just moving one hand onto your heart center and just feel the heart rising and expanding underneath your hand here. And then from here, bend the knees, bring the feet onto the floor. Just let the hands drop down onto the earth, palms facing down, so we really can feel the earth beneath us, underneath our shoulders, underneath the hands. From here, we're going to breathe in. Just feel yourself rocking through the hips here, so the lower back slightly lifts. And then as you exhale, just rolling the lower back into the earth. So you're doing tilting through the pelvis. So we're breathing in, lifting, but we're not lifting the hips off the floor yet. We can just feel that gentle movement here, that rocking backwards and forwards of the pelvis. As the hands are on the floor, as we breathe in, we can kind of like pull up and then, we can push away. And then as we exhale, just think about turning those ribs and just very slightly lift the hips, not too high, and just feel that line from the back of the neck to the knees. Push the shoulders, soften through the chest. And then from here, pull the hips towards the heels. Pull and then roll the lower back into the earth. And then the sacrum comes down, then the bottom comes down, then the tailbone pushes through, rolls down towards the feet. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Notice if you pull them up towards the ears. And then breathe in, exhale, just roll that lower back. And I just want you to be mindful that you're pressing each and every vertebrae into the floor. Just notice if there's a few vertebrae that kind of lift up in one go. And then just press into those hands. We're not coming up too far. We're just lifting the hips a little bit. Then soften the shoulders, soften the sternum. Draw the body down. As you draw the heels and the tailbone down towards the heels, you'll feel that the pubic bone lifts up slightly. And as it lifts up, you can roll the hips towards the ribs and then just rolling all the way down. And then that space between the ribs and the hips expands. And then from here, we're going to breathe in. We're going to just press into the feet, rolling up. Press into the hands, keep that neck nice and long. Maybe walk the shoulders this time slightly closer towards the heels. And just press down into the arms, press down into the feet. Now take the arms out to the sides. Breathe in, lengthen through the body as if you're coming down, and then just draw the hips over to the right and let the knees drop over to the left and look over to that right hand. So just coming into a twist. It's kind of got a little bit of a back bend there as well. You might be able to feel that as you open through. And then from here, breathe in, bring the knees back to the center, press into the feet, bring the hips back into line. Let the hands come down by the sides. Breathing in, rolling through the spine, lifting all the way up, keeping the chin tucked in, press into those hands, keeping the body long. Lift up a little bit higher. Take the hands out to the sides. Shift the hips over to the left-hand side. Roll down through the spine. And then just dropping those knees over to the right. And just breathing into that twist. Opening through the solar plexus. And you might feel that that left hip is opening a little bit here. So we're going to come back to the center. Breathe in, just shift those hips back into midline. This time sweep the arms up over the head. Stretch into the fingers, extend those legs out. And we feel right from the core here, this center, our solar plexus, Manipura chakra, that we're just opening, lengthening, stretching through. And then exhale, bring those knees in towards the chest. Lift the head up towards the knees. And then releasing all the way down. Push those knees away. And then as we exhale, lifting the head up, just curling the head all the way up. And breathe in and releasing down. Push those knees away. And then from here, exhale, bring the knees in towards the chest. And we're going to rock up into our seated position. And if you want to, you can sit on a cushion. So throughout this week, we've been working with because we've been working quite a lot with our Manipura chakra, we've also been working with the energy within our hands. So I just want you to take your hands, just rub your hands together and just create a little bit of heat. We don't do too much. If we do too much, we scatter that energy. And if we do not enough, then we don't create heat or warmth in the hands. So we're going to just rub those hands together. And we're going to kind of be mindful of that energy in our hands. Take the hands slightly apart and start to feel that energy and just draw those hands in towards each other. And you'll probably feel like a little bit of a rebound when you get, so the hands don't quite touch and you can probably feel that warmth. And if you kind of like move your hands around in a circular motion, kind of like a train, those are the wheels. So, and then you can just kind of play with that energy. Then from here, we're going to breathe in, lifting the arms all the way up above the head. From here, we're going to come down, just bring the right hand on top of the left hand and just let the hands come above the head. And just see if you can feel that warmth and that heat just slightly above the head, and just imagine that you're drawing that energy down all the way through the crown. And then from here, open the hands, bring the hands over the eyes. And just feel that warmth coming down, taking the hands round the neck. So you can cross the hands on the neck, or you can just take the hands apart, whichever feels right. Just feeling that warmth from the hands. So you don't have to touch. You can if you want to. You can just be just slightly away. Feel the warmth of the hands in the body. Bring those hands down to the heart center and just notice that warmth in the heart space here. Come down to Manipura chakra, home of that sun within our body. Just drawing the warmth in, come down below the navel. And then just run the hands just onto the Head tops of the thighs, just to connect into your root chakra. And just see if you can feel the warmth of the hands. Then let the hands come down onto the earth. So we really feel that we're just grounding through. Pulling the chest and the heart forward, rolling the shoulder blades down the back. Connect to the earth. And then breathe in, draw the arms all the way up. Turn the arms up towards the sky. Connect to the sky above us. Exhale, take those hands round behind you, linking those hands. Roll the shoulders, lift and open the heart. Pull the shoulders back so we feel the chest opening. Exhale, and then just hinging through. And you might be able to get your head down onto the floor, but you might not be able to, and that's okay, wherever you are. Try to keep the bottom on the floor. Sometimes we can get the head almost down, then the bottom just pops up so we can get the head down. And then from here, breathing in and lifting those arms all the way up, stretching up. And then exhale, bring those hands forward, and we're going to roll onto the hands, onto the knees. So taking those hands underneath the shoulders, we're going to come back into that breath, that awareness of breath here. And we're going to use it to help us in our practice. So we can almost let the breath come into an ujjayi, so a deeper breath within our body. So keeping those shoulders just drawing back, breathe in, bring the chest and the heart forward. And then exhale, let in the head. Just roll all the way down, press into those hands. And breathe in, chest and heart comes forward. And exhale, and just rolling all the way back. And just pressing into that lower back. So when we were doing bridge earlier on, we were kind of working more into the back bend, whereas in catch, you kind of, because the way we're working, we kind of work more into that forward bend. Press into those hands. Breathe in, chest and heart comes forward. Stretch the chest and the heart forward. And then as we exhale, rounding through. And then just letting the hips drop all the way back down onto those heels. Breathe in, chest and heart comes forward. And then exhale, round through. So let's make this really fluid now as we push back. And breathe in, chest and heart comes forward, rolling through the body. Exhale, rounding all the way through. And bring the chest and the heart forward, rolling all the way through. And exhale. Sit back on those heels. And then this time just coming up, holding it here. Taking the right hand underneath the shoulder. We're going to take this left hand and we're going to sweep that left arm up towards the sky. And then exhale, let that left hand just drop all the way down. Let that left shoulder drop onto the floor. And press into this right hand so this right elbow comes up towards the sky. And as it does, kind of feel that you can roll a little bit further. So maybe roll back onto the back of the head, and then we're kind of, that left shoulder's on the floor and the right hand's pressing into the air. So we feel that twist. Be aware if your arm is quite close to the legs, that maybe we might take us off balance there. And then from here, we're going to breathe in, extend that left arm up towards the sky again. Exhale, thread that left hand all the way through, just scooping it through, drop that left shoulder onto the floor. Right hand, just pressing into that right hand. Extend that right leg out behind you, so just press into that right leg here. And the right toes are tucked underneath. Keep that right shoulder. So you might find that that right shoulder is starting to kind of fall down towards the ear. But kind of pull it back, so you roll it back and you press into that right hand. And then lifting that right leg off the floor. Just lift that right leg and try and take it so it goes back behind you as opposed to out to the side. We just lift that right leg up, press into that right hand and the right elbow up towards the sky. Stretch that right leg up. Okay, lovely. Press into that right leg. Then bring those right toes all the way down onto the earth. tuck the toes underneath press into that right hand, lift that left arm up towards the sky, stretch out into that left hand, and then exhale, let that left hand come all the way through, drop that left shoulder down onto the earth. Be aware of what's happening. The shoulders scrunching up by the ears, and if they are, kind of like pull them back away. Then from here, the right leg's going to lift up behind you. So just lifting that right leg up. Bend that right leg. Keep pressing down into that left knee, and then just see if you can take the right hand onto the right foot and hold it there. It's a little bit wobbly. Press into that left hand. Press into that right left shin as well, and left knee. Now, one of the reasons you might be falling over, so if we're too close, so if we come through and our bodies, I don't know if you can see that, see where my right hand is and my left hand. So if I kind of then and try and lift up, my body's too scrunched up. If my shoulder's right up here, I've got a lot more length in my body, and that gives me the opportunity to really lift the leg up behind. So making sure that you've got a good, so that left arm's coming under, press into that right hand. Make sure that the left arm is quite close to that right wrist, and then lifting that leg up, taking hold of that foot, bending that top leg, and then taking hold of the foot with the right hand if possible. Don't worry if you fall over, you haven't got very far to fall. I can see legs suddenly disappearing out of this shot. Lovely, good. And then from here, we're going to release that foot, bring that right hand down onto the floor. Keep that right leg lifted and breathe in and take that left arm forward. Press into the right hand and the right foot and the left hand. And then exhale, round through, bring the knee in towards the chest and the elbow in towards the chest. And then breathe in, extend out. And exhale, knee and chest. And breathe in. And exhale. And breathe in, extend that left arm, feel that breath. Bring that left hand down onto the floor. Tuck in that right toe under. Push that right leg up in towards the sky into our downward facing dog. Open up that right hip. Feel that right hip really lifting and opening. And then exhale, bring that right foot to join the left foot. And just paddle through the feet here, letting that head just hang and feel loose. Just open into the hands, press the tailbone up, draw the heart down towards the earth, come up onto the toes, bring those knees down onto the floor, breathe in, come back into your child pose. And then exhale, round through, press up in between those shoulders. Now really work with the breath here. Breathe in, come forward. And exhale. And round through. I'm just going to do a few more cats here. So when we work with our breath, when we're mindful of our breath and our body, we kind of have more of a balance. It's when we kind of start thinking things. And it's often when we're in a balance, we start thinking, oh, no, I'm going to fall over. You probably will fall over because your mind has kind of come off its focus. So our focus in yoga is called a drishti. Now, drishti is like our point of gaze. And often, if we can, and earlier on I said about scattering our energy. So if we can think about really keeping our focus and our gazing at one point and really be mindful of that one point, then we can usually hold our balance and hold a pose for a little bit longer. Okay, let's turn this into our mobile cat. So we're going to breathe in. As we exhale, drop back down onto the hips. Breathe in, scooping forward, chest and heart comes up. And almost feel that your body's like a wave. You're just rippling through. Chest and heart comes forward. Exhale, rounding through. And and then breathe in, come forward. Now from this time, just bring the left hand very slightly in. We're going to lift the right hand up. So just lifting, opening the right hand. Now as you bring that right hand through, skim it past the left wrist, because and try not to move that left hand. And then the right shoulder comes down and the left elbow is coming up towards the sky. So it's quite a strong rotation here. So the right arm's forward and press into the right arm, press into that left hand. Breathe in, skim it up, lifting that right arm up towards the sky again. So opening up through that right side. And then exhale, remember to kind of like brush it past that left wrist as the arm comes through. And that gives you that length in the body if we've started from a good angle. And that left hand hasn't really moved, it's in that same position. And the shoulder comes down, letting that head really feel that head dropping down. Almost feel you're rolling back into the head and you're pressing down into that left hand and keeping that body long. Then from here, taking that left leg, lift the left leg up behind you. So just lifting that left leg all the way up and then holding it here. Think about the back of the right hand pressing into the earth and the left hand pressing into the earth. Pull up through your core so you feel that length. And you've got the length in the waist and the leg can come up higher if you want to take it higher, that's fine. And then bring those toes back down onto the earth. Press into that left hand, taking that right arm up towards the sky, stretching up. Feel that rotation again, so it's a little bit of a counter pose there. And then exhale, slide that hand through. And again, slide it round, but very close to that left hand. So the right shoulder comes onto the floor. You've got a lot of space in the body here. And then from here, we're going to lift the left leg up, press into the right knee, press into the right back of the hand. It doesn't matter if you're wobbly. And then from here, it doesn't matter if you fall over, we're going to take the left hand and hold onto the left foot and push the left foot up towards the sky. Good, brilliant. That's it, lovely. And it doesn't matter if you roll over because we're very close to the earth anyway. And press that foot up towards the sky. You don't have to hold on to it if you feel too wobbly. And then from here, breathe in and releasing that leg. Now extend that left leg out behind you. Hold that left leg here. Press into that left hand and then reaching that right arm forward. So you kind of, from your solar plexus, just imagine you're expanding out into that right hand, expanding out into that left leg. Breathe in, stretching through, and as you exhale, just draw it in. Roll up as if you're coming into cat. The elbow comes in, knee comes in, and then breathe in, and then just pressing out. And then again, exhale, elbow comes in, knee comes in, and then breathing in and pressing out. And exhale, elbow comes in, knee comes in, and breathing in and pressing out. Now bring the right hand down onto the floor, keeping that left leg lifted. Now press back, tuck the toes under and press back into your downward facing dog. So see if you can just lift up, keeping that leg off the floor if possible. And then lift in, that's it, lovely. Lift that leg all the way up towards the sky. Open up that hip just very slightly. And then exhale, bring both legs down to join each other. So both feet to come towards each other. Pressing up into that tailbone. And just easing through the backs of the legs here. Just opening, waking up those hamstrings a little bit more. So we're not on a boot march. We're just kind of taking almost just a step and pushing through. And then another step and pushing through. Maybe swing the hips around a little bit here. And just feel what's going on in your body here. And the head is just hanging down towards the earth, pressing that tailbone up towards the sky. Listen to the sound of the breath. Come up onto those toes. Bring those knees all the way down onto the floor. Breathe in, sit back onto the heels. And lift those arms. And as we do, really feel that you're lifting and opening up through the solar plexus. Linking those fingers and push those hands up towards the sky. Draw the arms back towards the ears. Ease over slightly to the right hand side. Maybe just looking to the right hand side. And breathe in. Ease over to the left hand side. And then drawing those arms all the way back. Exhale, taking those hands round behind you. Just touch the fingers to the floor and open the chest so we feel that we're open all the way round up the front of the body here. And you can let the head come back a little bit if you want to, but you don't have to. And exhale. And then just from here, roll forward, let the body come forward into your child's pose. Let the head come down onto the earth. Dropping those arms round those knees. As you just take a moment here just to check in with your breath. Just check in with your body, check in with your mind. Notice where you're at. And also when we come into child's pose, just notice how the breath is in the back. So we're breathing more into the back of the body than we are breathing into the front of the body. And then from here, just rolling all the way up. We're going to take the hands onto the floor, tuck the toes under, and lift the knees off of the floor. So we're just lifting those knees. Press the tailbone up towards the sky and letting the head release down. And feel the chest drawing down towards the earth. Placing those hands on the floor. And as we breathe in, we slightly lift and pull the chest and the heart forward. As we exhale, we just release all the way down. Bend those knees, breathe in, lifting those arms all the way up towards the sky. Lift those arms up, link those fingers, press into those hands. Draw the arms back towards the ears. And then exhale, bring the thumbs into the heart. Samasthiti. So we're at the back of our mats. Keeping those shoulders relaxed. So we're going to come forward and we're going to be using Natarangirasana because we've already kind of done a little bit of work into opening up and holding onto that foot as well. So from here, we're going to take the right leg, just lifting that right foot up and just press into that left foot here. Bring that right foot forward, step into that right foot, feel that weight, shift it onto those left toes, and then exhale, roll back, lift the right toes. Breathe in and shift through into that left foot, and as you do, lifting that left leg up behind you. Now roll this left shoulder back and just see if you can hold onto the inside. So rather than holding the right outside of the foot, hold the inside of the foot. And that allows that shoulder to open up a little bit more, this left shoulder. And then from here, lifting that right arm up towards the sky. And as you do, start to push that left leg up. And you'll notice as you're holding on the inside of the foot as opposed to the outside foot, that knee kind of stays more in line, because my knee shoots out to the side and I kind of lose my balance. So this is all about feeling from your core. So feel from your center, lifting, drawing that right arm all the way up towards the sky. And then from here, we're going to breathe in and we're going to lift all the way up. Lifting that left leg up, bring both arms up towards the sky, press in towards the fingers. Exhale, let those hands come down. Step through, breathe in, come forward, roll into those right toes. Exhale, push back. Breathe in, come forward. As we come forward, pick up that left leg, just holding on to the inside of the foot as opposed to the outside. Lift that left arm up, and as you do, you'll start to feel that knee pull away. The hips kind of come forward, lifting all the way up through the body. Find your balance, and then when you're ready, come forward. And keeping this right shoulder rolling back all the time. And then from here, we're going to breathe in. We're going to lift up forward, bring both arms up, lift that right leg up. Exhale, step forward with the right leg. Bring the hands together, bring the hands into the heart. Just take the hands on the solar plexus here, just allowing yourself to steady into ground for a moment. Spreading the feet and lift up, shoulders drawing down the back. Just imagine them coming into the waistband, pressing slightly down into the tailbone. At the same time, we're kind of lifting up through the belly, up through the crown of the head. Just balance, center. From here, we're going to lift the arms up towards the sky, just drawing those arms all the way up. Exhale, bring the thumbs into the heart and sit back into your Utkatasana. Now, you might find that the legs, ankles are apart, and that's fine, knees are apart then. Ankles are together, knees are together then. So just drawing the thumbs into the heart, sitting back. Now we're going to take the right elbow over the, left elbow over the right knee. So just take the left elbow over that right knee. And as you do, kind of spin it round, so bring the thumbs into the heart and really keeping, making sure the bottom is lower than the head. So sometimes we just let the head spin out. So we've got the left elbow over the right knee. Good, lovely. And press through the spine. Just feel that rotation through the spine. Think about where the breath is. Just notice if your mind's kind of like gone off somewhere else. So we've got the left elbow over the right knee. Now from here, we're going to take the left foot and we're going to step that left foot all the way back. So still, just think about bringing the thumbs into the heart. Press into that left hand, right hand into the left hand. Lifting through. Now look down to this left foot here. Right foot, sorry, not left foot. And then we're going to think about bringing the left knee to the right little toe. And our hands, so I'm going to come round to face you. So you kind of step in and see if you can still keep those hands together in prayer. See if you can still keep those thumbs into the heart. Make sure you're not sitting on that left foot. That right leg is now over. And we're looking over the right shoulder, not the left shoulder. So the arms across the body and look over the right shoulder. So the left elbow is over the right knee. So left elbow over the right knee, that's it. And then twisting through and then looking over that right shoulder. Now from here, we're going to take the right hand down onto the floor. Take the left hand onto the foot and then just lift in that left leg. So again, we're coming into that twist, which we've been working with these twists all the way through the class today. So just drawing that leg across the body, rotate through, take that right hand out behind you, look to the right hand. Just holding it here. And then breathing, coming back. Take hold of that foot and then extend that left hand out and rotate over to the left. Lift the chest and the heart up. Keep those shoulders rolling all the way down the back. And then coming forward. Bring this right foot, so this right leg comes all the way over into our Gomukhasana legs. So crossing those legs, making sure you feel even. So sometimes if we feel wonky, we're like, oh, well, I'll just be wonky. But I want you to think about if you are really dropping down into that left hip, just put something underneath that left hip. Even sometimes I use a book or fold my mat up or just a little bit of a blanket or a little cushion if I'm feeling heavy. So I'm feeling fine. So I want you just to take the hands on the waist and just notice if you're kind of scrunching, if you're lengthening through the left side and scrunching through the right side, and if you are pulled down into that right hip. So really feel that you're lengthening shoulder blades down the back. Take those arms up towards the sky as we lift those arms up. Stretch those arms up, bring the palms together, stretching through, relax those shoulders. And then exhale, bring those thumbs all the way down. Take those hands out and let the chin come down onto that right leg. And just release into those hips here. And just releasing into those shoulders. And then breathe in and lifting all the way up. We're going to take this right leg and just extend that right leg all the way around, but we're going to push into that, let me come this way, we're going to push into that right foot and come up and push back into your downward facing dog. Okay, so come straight back into downward dog. Press into those hands, ripple forward into your plank. Bring the knees down onto the floor. Sit back onto those heels. Scoop the chest and the heart through and lifting, softening into the hips. Don't worry about lifting up too high. Just pull the shoulder blades all the way back. Exhale, release the head all the way down. Breathing in, lifting the chest and heart, maybe a little bit higher without locking those elbows. And exhale and releasing all the way down. And then from here, we're going to breathe in, making sure the toes and the shins and the knees are on the floor. Pull the tailbone into the earth. Breathe in, pull the chest and the heart forward. Lift the chest and the heart, tuck those toes under. Pull into your plank. Exhale, push back into your downward facing dog. Press into the hands, let the head release here. And then from here, we're going to bend the knees, walk, step, or jump in between the hands, whatever feels good for you this morning. And releasing the head all the way down in Uttanasana, letting that head hang here. Roll the shoulders, breathe in, lifting the chest and the heart high. And exhale, and releasing the head all the way down. Bend those knees, breathe in, lift those arms all the way up towards the sky. Bring the hands together, bring the thumbs into the heart. And then just taking the hands on the solar plexus and feel yourself lifting. Feel that warmth you're creating within your belly here. And just dropping into the feet. Lifting up through the chest and the shoulders kind of roll all the way back. Take a moment here, just find your breath. Just ground. Lift both arms up towards the sky. So as we lift up, we're going to come back, sit back into Utkatasana. So sitting back into your Utkatasana. And as we do, think about, try not to push the chin forward. Remember, we're going to have the knees together and the ankles together, or the knees and the ankles apart as we sit back down into Utkatasana. Push the tailbone back. You can keep the arms out in front of you like this, or you can take the arms, or you can take the hands to here if you want to. So whichever version you're doing. From here, bring the palms together, bring the thumbs into the heart. Keep this length from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. And then from here, we're going to twist. Now think about bringing this left elbow over the right knee. And now you might find that the thumbs are up near the shoulders. So lift the body up so the thumbs are kind of in the heart. Now this left knee is going to want to push forward. So we're going to keep that left leg. Oh, actually, we're supposed to be twisting the other side, so we did that side last time, didn't we? So we're going to breathe in, lift up, and then exhale, we're going to twist into the opposite direction. So we're going to bring the right elbow over the left knee. Thumbs into the heart. Find your balance. We're going to just take a moment here just to reset. Okay, so really press into the hands. Lift that left shoulder up a little bit more if you can. And then we're going to lift this right leg And we're going to step back with that right leg. So take the right foot off the floor. Step back with that right leg. So we're on those toes. And that elbow is still over. Thumbs into the heart. So we're still twisting over. So we're in a really deep lunge. Try not to bring the back heel down onto the floor. And can you see I'm quite deep here. If I'm further forward, it's going to be quite hard because can you see I'm pitching forward. So if I come right back, then I can get that twist in the body and my thumbs are in the heart. Press down into those hands, nice deep lunge, toe, heels off the back, heel off the floor. Okay, lovely. And really feel that you're lifting that left shoulder up towards the sky. Now from here, from this twist, we're going to stay in this twist. Try and keep those hands together. Look down, focus. So the left thumbs might come up to the left shoulder here. Look to the left little toe. And then just step in and let yourself come onto the floor. So I'm going to come around. So see if you can keep those hands. I was like, oh, yes. Keeping those hands. And just keep this right elbow is just drawing back that left leg. So just extending into it a little bit deeper. Make sure you're not sitting on that right heel as we twist through. Then from here, we're going to take this right hand right down this left leg. Take hold of that left foot. Look out and over that left shoulder. Twisting through the body. Just stretching, lengthening. Pull up through your body, up through your core. And then coming all the way back to the center. Exhale, taking that leg out. Look over to that right hand. Pull the chest and the heart forward. Really feel that you're opening and you're lifting. Be aware if you're kind of sagging back behind that leg. If you are, lift the chest, so we kind of like open ourselves up. And then exhale, bringing this left leg over. So we're coming back into Gomukhasana onto the other side. Now, straight away, I can feel that my right hip is a bit heavier down into the earth here. And as it is, that means I'm kind of slightly shortening through the right side of my body. So I'm going to kind of adjust. And you can either sit square on, or you can take a block. And I know it sounds weird to take it underneath the hip that feels that it's coming off the floor. So you take it, you take it under the other one, wouldn't you? And then that kind of drops you down, so it kind of levels up the body. And then my waist feels that either side of my waist is nice and long here. Press out into those feet, roll the shoulders, lift the chest. Let the eyes close here just for a moment and center. Focus, bring your focus back into your breath, back into this moment. Notice if your mind has wandered away from this moment. Maybe it's wandered onto all those, the list of things that we need to do. We can just let that go. As we breathe in, breathe out. Drop into the hips, bring both arms up towards the sky, lifting and lengthening. Exhale, bring the hands down the center, extend those hands out, scootle those fingers out so into like little cages on the floor. And then let that chin come all the way down onto that left knee. And just take a moment here, just breathe and release into this. Just notice if the hips feel tight and with each exhalation, just think about releasing. Because if we've got tightness in our body, then our mind, our awareness will be drawn to that area. And then from here, we're going to breathe in and we're going to lift all the way. We're going to take this left leg and we're going to sweep that left leg all the way around. I'm going to just come And we're going to push back into our downward facing dog. Press into those hands, release those the heads down. Make sure we're not kind of dumping into the shoulders. Pull up, pull those hips back. Breathe in, just ripple forward into your plank. Bring the knees down, scoot back a little bit, scoot through, and lift it. We don't have to lift up too high because we're going to do 3. Breathing in, exhale, release the head. All the way down. As we do, just notice the hips release as well. Breathe in, lift it up a little bit higher. And then exhale, releasing all the way down. And then from here, breathing in and lifting all the way up. Roll the shoulders down the back. Then exhale, tucking those toes under, lift the hips. Push it back into your downward facing dog. Press into those hands. Pull through the belly, come up onto the toes, bring the knees down onto the floor. Breathe in, sitting all the way back on the heels. Lift those arms up towards the sky. And then bring the thumbs into the heart, as we just hold it here for a moment. And remember, if you don't like sitting back on the heels like this, you can always come up onto your knees. So thumbs into the heart, just take a moment. Just to settle your body, roll the shoulder blades down the back. Let the hands drop onto the belly and just feel the breath in the belly here. And then lengthening, breathe in. We're going to come forward, just walking those hands forward. Let the head drop down towards the earth. Now from here, we're going to take the right hand and we're going to just scoot the right hand underneath. So come up a little bit, but not too much, not as much as we did a little bit. We did earlier on. So just scooting the right hand underneath the left arm and then let yourself slide back. And then bend that left hand and just kind of push yourself around a little bit further. So you press into that left hand and that right hand shoots through a little bit deeper. Now you might be able to get the head onto the floor, you might not. And then from here, breathing in, taking that right hand forward. Then from here, we're going to take the left hand. You can lift the bottom off slightly and then drop it back down when you feel more settled. Extending that right hand out first of all, and looking over to that left hand. Really opening up into that shoulder. And breathe. And then from here, bring that right hand, just slide that right hand, just push round a little bit deeper, a little bit further. And then from here, press into that right hand. Bring that left hand forward, take the left hand out to the side. Bring the right hand onto top of that hand. So you're kind of like looking down towards the hands. Squeeze the elbows together and let the head just rest down here. Stretching back, pull back into that right hip. And then from here, take the right hand out to the side. Take the left hand, but don't just scoot across the floor, kind of lift the head, roll the elbows together, and then let the head release down. And then from here, come back to the center. Lifting all the way up. We're going to open those knees, lift up, and just easing through. Bring the soles of the feet together. And if you need to sit on a blanket or anything, or a cushion, just sitting on a cushion or a blanket. And bring the soles of the feet together. Let those knees drop out to the side. Now Supta Baddha Konasana. Lifting the chest up high. Now we're going to slide the feet just slightly away. And as we do, just ease down. And that's because we've moved the feet slightly away, we can come down a little bit lower. So you can keep the elbows, they can come on the inside of the knees, or you can take them to the front of the legs. And just letting the head drop down into our butterfly pose here. And then from here, breathe in and lifting all the way up. From here, we're going to just extend out into that right foot, bring that left foot. Lift those arms, we're going to just extend those arms. We're going to exhale, first of all, we're going to just exhale, bring that left hand to midline. So you're kind of stretching through. And then from here, breathe in, come back and take that left hand out to the other side. And then bring the right hand down and just ease over. So opening up into that left side of the body. Turning the head, just easing through with that hand, rolling through the body, stretching, lengthening. Then from here, think about this left elbow. We're going to just take the left elbow up and the right. So you're holding the head. So you're coming down, and that just allows us to come down a little bit deeper into it as we hold the head here. So really opening up. So it's a lovely counter pose for twists and rotation as we open up through the sides of the body. And then from here, lifting all the way up. Take that left hand round behind you. Sweep that right arm up and over the head and just opening through the hips. So you might have felt that you've been scrunched up there. So this is just nice and open through the body. And then exhale and just rolling all the way down. Bring the right leg in, extend the left leg out to the side. Sitting nice and tall, we're going to just taking the arms forward, taking the arms out, and then from here we're going to rotate. So we're going to turn, look to the left hand and the right hand comes forward. And that actually, that little motion pulls that right hip back a little bit. So then as we exhale to come the other way, you can feel that leg slightly extending forward, but then we can bring that left hand down and the right arm can come all the way over. You might be able to bring it down to the feet, but don't worry if that doesn't happen. Just wherever you are, you might be just completely up here, you might be right the way down here, you might be somewhere in between. So just take what feels good for you today. Rolling those ribs up towards the sky, soften into the body. If you want to increase that stretch, just taking the hands either side, letting that elbow roll down, that left elbow roll down to the floor. And then from here, breathing in and lifting all the way up. Taking this right hand round behind, sweep that left hand and then open up through the hips. Open through the chest, roll back, slight back bend, opening through. And then exhale and just easing all the way around. Bring the legs into a cross-leg position. Let those knees drop out to the side, sitting tall. Let the eyes close just for a moment and just feel yourself really lifting up through the belly, through the ribs, shoulder blades dropping down the back. Turn those palms up towards the sky. Let the eyes close and we're going to focus on our breath here. Just listening to the sound of the breath to start. Now we're going to do alternate nostril breathing today, but we're going to do it without our hands. So we're going to just feel that breath. So just bring the awareness into the left nostril and then feel yourself breathing through that left nostril. Breathe up to the brow and then breathe out through the right nostril. And then breathe in through the right nostril. And breathe out through the left nostril. And just carrying on, breathing in through the left, breathing out through the right, breathing in through the right, out through the left. Just with this Nadi Shodhana breath. And this allows us to help us to balance our body. Just to bring ourselves back into our mind, our body. So it's a really good exercise to do, especially if you feel that your mind is kind of like scattered and if you feel that your energy is scattered all over the place. This is just a lovely way to bring yourself back into the here and the now. So not only does it work with our parasympathetic nervous system and our sympathetic nervous system, it kind of balances those, but it also balances the in, the out, the hot, the cold, the light, the dark. So, and just balances our body, which is, this time of the year, we really feel that we need to have that balance within our body. As we come down to the solstice, the winter solstice. When we feel that the dark is probably, sometimes people feel the dark a little bit overwhelming, but if we can just bring this lightness and this sun from our own solar plexus, just to light up our days. And just bringing balance. And the next time you breathe out of your right nostril, just making that the last of your Nadi Shodhana. And just sit for a moment in this stillness and this silence, just mindful of the breath, mindful of your body. Just allowing yourself to come into this here and the now. And then breathing in, on the next exhalation, just drop the chin towards the chest. Excuse me, keeping the shoulders relaxed. And then breathe in and lift in the head. And then from here, we're going to lie down in Shavasana. So just coming down into Shavasana, taking your time. Excuse me. Letting the body settle. Making sure you're nice and warm and comfortable. And just feel the body settling here. Just take a moment, just make sure that you are comfortable, that you feel comfortable, that nothing's drawing your attention away from this moment of stillness, of release and relax. Now close your eyes. And I just want you to imagine your body from all sides, as if you were looking at yourself from above. And just feel yourself being pulled into that inner ocean of peace and quiet. As the ripples on the surface start to subside. And the world outside can be so busy, but inside, if we can find peace and our own tranquility. Keep your breath soft and your mind will follow. And feel yourself moving deeper still towards your inner core. As if you were porous and you were being absorbed into yourself. And as you find yourself closer to your bliss center, just see the brightness there. And just let this brightness shine out like a lighthouse through the darkness. Let this brightness shine out for the world to see. And as this brightness shines out, you can allow yourself just to be still, to be quiet. To release, to relax, and to let go. And take a nice long deep breath in here. Sigh the breath away. And bring some movement to your fingers, to your toes. Just allowing your body to awaken here. Bend the knees, bring the knees in towards the chest and just rocking the knees here. Just roll them over to the right hand side, allowing yourself just to roll onto the right hand side. And just very slowly in your own time, just coming up into a seated position, taking your time. Lift the chest and the heart. From here, we're going to breathe in, lift both arms all the way up towards the sky, draw those palms together. Exhale, bring the thumbs into the heart space, look down towards the fingers, lengthen through the back of the neck. And then breathe in and lift in the head. And thank you very much for your practice this morning. Thank you. Om Shanti.